Welcome in to Friday night. It is Views from the Stands, and I am extremely excited to be back. I've been out for a couple weeks here, just got some random stuff going on. We'll get into that in a little bit, but Mr. G Mike, it is a pleasure to be back with you on a Friday night. How are you feeling tonight, my friend?
Feeling good, baby. It's Friday. The week is coming about, man, and we got some crazy stuff happening in basketball, MLB. You know, we got some UFC events coming up later on, man. It feels good, man. It feels good. How you been?
I've been great, man. Actually, I missed a couple of weeks ago. Turns out that you cannot scream from a crowd, and the band is not going to hear you. I was out for a little bit from Welcome to Rockville. It was amazing, outstanding, and there's nothing bad I can say about it. But I completely lost my voice for about 2 weeks straight. So I was really getting into it, really feeling the music, I suppose. And so I was out for a little bit, and I promise it was worth every single bit of it, like losing her voice over it. So I was out with that. I had some other scheduling stuff going on, but yeah, man, turns out that they cannot hear you from the crowd, no matter how hard you try. But in my head, I sounded amazing, and the rest of the people around me probably thought the same as well. That's what can I say, you know? So, like we were saying, man, it's Friday night, and we have a whole bunch of stuff getting into tonight. The NBA is trying to take a stand on this whole tanking issue that's been going on. So they released some new rules that we're going over here momentarily. There's a lot to unpack with that because they're trying to really hard to make up something better with this one. We got the Knicks, man, just absolutely destroying the league right now. So we were talking about the Knicks and the Cavs series and what we think is coming up. And of course, we got Game 7 tomorrow night, the San Antonio Spurs and the OKC Thunder. Man, it's so much going on with those. One game it's this, one game it's the next, you know, so it's super exciting right now. Playoffs are in full swing. But before we get into that, man, we want to give a special shout out to PodMatch for hooking us up with giving us guests and helping promote for us. So if you're looking to do any kind of podcasting and get started, or if you already are podcasting and you want to jump into another venture, I would highly recommend PodMatch. Absolutely great company. The price is right for it. And you get to meet all kinds of new people out there. So, Mr. G Mike, I've been waiting for this for a little bit. Are you ready to jump into some news, my friend?
You already know.
News from the world of sports.
All right. Well, the NBA, like we were saying, may release today a new set of draft lottery system. All right. And G Mike, I'm going to take a second here and read a bunch of this because it's a lot to unpack. So just give me one second.
Give the news for the people. Give the news for the people.
All right, so we got the 3-2-1 draft lottery system, all right? So the way this is going to work is the bottom 3 teams receive 2 lottery balls and cannot pick lower than 5th. 4 through 10, the worst, receive 3 lottery balls. The play-in seeds, the 9 and 10, will receive 2 lottery balls. Play-in losers, the 7-8, will receive 1 lottery ball. Here's some other rules that they're trying to fix these things with this as well. Consecutive top pick bans. No matter what, you cannot pick number 1 overall and back-to-back drafts. You remember the Orlando Magic's done that. A couple people has happened, and it's not really panning out the way they wanted to. Next one, a consecutive top 5 ban. A team cannot land in the top 5 in 3 consecutive drafts. And the last one they have here is pick projections. Restrictions exist on placing projection picks between 12 and 15. Whew, that's a lot to unpack. G Mike, what's your thoughts on what they're trying to do, and do you agree or disagree with this, my friend?
I kind of disagree, right? And what they're trying to do is eliminate the whole tanking situation where teams are basically losing on purpose so they could try and get the number 1 pick. With this new anti-tanking rule, it's going to help that for sure because teams through 4 to 10 are going to have more of a chance, a 71% chance from Shams that he put it out on Twitter, that they would be able to get the number 1 pick, getting 3 lottery balls from those 4 to 10 seats. When it comes to the bottom 3 teams, they'll get 2 lottery balls where they have a 29% chance to get the number 1 pick, right? So the tanking issue, for sure, it's gonna get fixed. It's gonna get unwritten, right? But my problem is the teams that are gonna be in the bottom 3 for the next year, if they don't get a number 1 pick or a top 5 pick, and they end up getting out of the lottery round or room, you could say, they're going to remain sucky for the next year or the year after that or the year after that. And it's like, how are you going to level out the playing field or competition across the league if you have this going on, right? I don't know what they need to do. I have no answers for the anti-tanking. I feel like the most egregious thing that they should come up with is giving these teams fines, but then you got to go through a huge investigation to see if they're actually doing it on purpose or if it's they're taking out players because they're actually hurt or they just want to sit them because of load management or because they want to tank. Who knows, right? But let's say you slap them with $1 million fine. I'm sure they're going to stop. I'm sure teams are going to stop tanking. But you're never going to really know. Like I said, you got to do a whole investigation on it. So it's tough, man. I don't know the answer to it. I think this helps the anti-taking rules for sure. But is it the right answer? Is it the correct answer for the future? I don't think so.
Yeah, the other thing that's going to be hard about this as well is that I'm sure the league's going to be starting to get annoyed because the teams that are already really good right now, let's go OKC, San Antonio, they did this and they are reaping the benefit of doing this. You know what I'm saying? So how are you going to all of a sudden say, well, beyond this point, it's worked for them, but don't do that. Like, we need you to play harder and maybe not be good. But, hey, these guys had already done this. They're going to be okay and dominate the league. So it's really tough to say. They need to come up with something, obviously. I never thought in a day and age that you would have to actually make a rule about tanking, you know? The other problem with this is I was listening to a couple other ESPN guys or just different. I forgot what station it was, but they were talking about too. It's a proven thing that it does work, tanking. The problem with it is that it's just not good for the league. But in reality, it is good for the teams. That's the only way that it ends up working out. Being in the NBA, if you're mediocre, if you're halfway good enough to make the play-in, and you don't win the championship, that's pretty much where you're going to be for the next couple of years, and you have to hit on the draft picks. So it's kind of difficult to fix the situation because everybody knows it works to tank. And they had 10 teams trying to tank. I'm not really sure exactly why this year was the year to tank. They had like at least 10 teams going for it. I don't know if the draft class is that far and beyond like generational talent or something, but it was just blatantly obvious. And then you had situations where it was extremely obvious, where like ergo Bam Adebayo getting 80 points in the game and like just ridiculous stuff going on because they're trying to lose so bad. If that's the case, then why are they going to play the game? Just throw in the towel and say we forfeit or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to just do that, I know that isn't the answer, but like, it's gotten ridiculous because there's been some performances that get put up because these teams are so bad. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I do like that they're trying to do something and they realize that there is an issue, but the other issue is that it works to tank.
Yeah, and you're never going to fix the issue too, in my eyes. I think it's never going to be something that's going to be like, yo, this is going to be the solution to the problem when it comes to tanking. I don't think there's ever going to be a solution in any professional sports league, really. If once a team go, especially in the NBA, when you got 82 games, you go through 30 games, 40 games, you can already tell the writings on the wall on what team is going to be trash and what team is going to be nice and what team is going to be a contender. And at that point, teams start making decisions like, all right, cool. You know, we're going to go for it all. We're going to go for this NBA Finals appearance and go for the championship. Well, we're going to go for the playoffs, maybe make the play-in and hopefully get in the playoffs. And, well, actually, we're not going to do anything, so might as well sit out players, act like they're injured, and try to tank for a number one pick. I don't think it's ever going to get fixed, bro.
And good luck trying to prove that they're not hurt because the Player Association is going to be a lot of that you can't force somebody out there because on the off chance they actually are hurt or mildly hurt. You know, it got to the point sometime this season, to where there was only a couple of meaningful games actually being played and that's bad for a product that's on almost every other night or every night. So, that's definitely a major issue. And I appreciate them trying to come up with something. I mean, we've talked about it in the past as well. Why not putting more emphasis on the NBA Cup? Maybe you get more lottery balls going that way if you're worried about the draft. Winning the NBA Cup or something. I don't know if that's the answer. Like we were saying before, neither one of us can really give you the exact answer at the moment. Besides the fact that they need to come up with something, but I feel like that there's going to find ways around what is going on. These coaches, GMs, all these guys aren't idiots. They know they got in this position for a reason. They know what they're doing, and they also know the fact of the higher the pick, the better it is. The lower the pick, for like number one, number two, the better it is that they're actually going to be able to do something to help out. And that's what's different. I feel like with basketball than damn near any other sport is one guy really can make a difference in a draft. Like you can go from last to first, no problem with one guy. NFL, it takes more of a team. Just because the Raiders drafted Mendoza, number 1 overall, isn't like they're all of a sudden Super Bowl favorites now. You can legitimately, here it goes, San Antonio, you get Victor Wembanyama, and their entire trajectory of the next decade is completely different now. So the NBA is one of the few sports that really does matter with the tanking. The other ones, you build, and it'll eventually. But NBA, you get 2 good drafts and you're back in it, or even 1 in the same draft. Ergo, Dallas had Luka Doncic and Jalen Brunson in 1 draft. So it's just crazy how that can work. And the NBA is definitely something like that. And I think what they're also trying to do is alleviate what the Oklahoma City Thunder have done, which they didn't do anything illegal or cheating or anything. They just happen to have smart people running the organizations. Same thing with San Antonio. I feel like that's one of the main 2 focuses, because OKC, no matter if they win the championship or not, still have a bunch of early draft picks that are going to keep them consecutive for the next decade or so. And the same thing with San Antonio. So I think if you're going to do it, you have to hit on the picks for this actually to work. Otherwise, you're wasting everybody's time.
Yeah, man. Again, I don't think it's ever going to get fixed, but if they're just trying to fix the tanking right now, the tanking situation, this does go in the right direction, but then it just creates more problems in other places. Like teams are going to still suck if they don't get the number 1 pick when they're the worst team in the league.
Yeah, I mean, I can yes and no. I mean, because there has been times where you got guys that are good in the later rounds. So I mean, just because you get number 1 doesn't always mean that it's going to work. I mean, Luka went late. I think he was like 6. I mean, you can go down the list. Draymond Green was a 2nd-round pick. Jalen Brunson was a 2nd-round pick. So I think it just really comes down to knowing what you need in the system. Dylan Harper wasn't the number 1 overall pick, and he's been playing lights out, playing like a 10-year vet in the last couple of games or so. So I think it just comes down to you have to have the right people in charge that know what your team needs. And so that's why I think what the solution is that get people in that know what they're doing. That might fix the situation whenever, because of, they're trying to limit your picks. So make the picks count.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, most of these owners, they don't really know basketball 101. They might be a fan. They watch the game and they know, a travel, double dribble, a shot, 3-point shot, dunk, layup. They know the basics for sure. But when it comes to the X's and O's, a lot of them don't really know. So you got to hire some good basketball minds for president of basketball operations, GM, head coach, assistant coach. And it goes down the list for sure. Those are the people who are going to help you get to where you want to be if you want to be a successful franchise, 100%. But if we really think about it, a lot of the players that are in the top 5 pick in each of the drafts in the last years, I'm sure, I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but I'm sure it's above 75% that them 5 included together in a group become successful for their teams.
Yeah, I mean, it also is one of those things, and if you have enough time, so let's see these guys develop, and that's where I think like the G League and stuff can really come in. Hell, I'll be completely honest with you, I feel like that if I was an up and coming player and my draft stock wasn't where I necessarily wanted to, I would go over to Europe and play in Europe for a year or two, because the way this style is translating to the NBA so much better than some of these star college players, and you're also playing with grown men at that point, too. A lot of these guys in like the G League are, they're just there. They never were going to make the league anyways or something. But I don't know if I was somebody in that position, which I'm clearly not. But I would try to go play overseas if I was in one of those positions, if I didn't like my pick or anything where I was going to be at. But yeah, there's a lot to figure out with it. Do you like the rule that I saw in there of you cannot have consecutive top 5 picks, or is it 3? You can't have top 5 picks 3 times in a row. Do you like that, or you think that's a little too much?
Again, for the tanking, I understand. I'm not going to say I like it or dislike it. I understand it for the tanking, but it's like you can never have a top 5 pick in 3 consecutive years. Like you really shouldn't. You shouldn't. You
Right.
shouldn't be at the bottom 3 years in a row for the bottom 5 worst teams in the NBA. You shouldn't. It shouldn't be there. Like your pride should take over. You should want to win. You should want to get into the playoffs, go far, go deep. Like, come on, bro. Like, it shouldn't be out here just trying to lose every single year. That shouldn't be your mindset. So I understand the rule for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree as well. And I agree with what you're saying by the aspect of like, if you're doing this correctly, you shouldn't have to be consecutively tanking like that to
Exactly.
consecutively be in that spot. So if it's not working, then you got to make your own changes sometimes. So I can agree with you on that one. The other one I wanted to touch base on a little bit on there was that they're extending it now from 14 to 16 for the lottery picks in there. Do you think that's good at adding more teams? Because I guess that makes it a little bit more challenging for the teams that are going to get the bottom because now you're getting more odds of losing the pick in there. Do you like that rule?
I think you giving an opportunity for the teams that are in the play-in or the 7th and 8th seed, and I don't really think those teams should get the opportunity for a number one pick. In my opinion, you're in the playoffs for a reason because you're good. You don't need a top 5 pick. You just need some adjustments with either the coaching or the personnel or the way
Yeah.
that you're playing basketball on the court. But I don't think you need a number one pick or even a top 5 pick. I think you just need maybe your trade away, a piece away, a coach away, or maybe a few X's and O's away. But I do not believe that you need a top 5 or the number one pick.
Yeah, I can get behind you on that one as well, and really like we've been kind of mentioning as well. I think that you have to find fits. I feel like that especially now that they're going to kind of limit getting these picks right or something. So I think that you need to find the guy that actually fits your system. Like, what do you truly need? Do you need a big? Do you need a floor general? Like, you have to know your team. For instance, we'll be getting back into Oklahoma City. That Jared McCain trade that they made is turning out to be fantastic for them on a player that really wasn't doing much in Philadelphia. They looked at what they needed. Hey, we need a scorer. That's pretty much all we need, and that's exactly what he is. And he fits into what they've been doing or whatever. But we'll be definitely getting into Oklahoma City here in a few. But
I wanna allude to what you had said before because I think it's a key component when it comes to sports. It's giving the team and the players time, right? You just
mhm,
alluded to Jared McCain and the Philadelphia 76ers.
yeah,
They didn't give him no time. They
no,
traded him away after a year and he was injured. They didn't even let him come back and play
correct,
and show his dominance. Like, which
correct.
I don't think he's an all-star player. I don't think he's an NBA player,
No,
but
but he's a hell of a role player, though. He's
but
a
he's
he's a
a hell of
star.
a role player, yes, and he's a good shooter for sure. I think if they would have had that, they would have gave the New York Knicks a little bit of a run, right? Maybe not getting swept, but even touching on the Knicks, right? Jalen Brunson signed with the New York Knicks 4 years ago. Time, bro. They went to the playoffs, lost in the second round. The next year, same thing, lost in the second round. Last year, lost in the Eastern Conference Finals to the Indiana Pacers. And now going to the NBA Finals. Time, bro. You got to give these teams and players time to develop and grow and get that chemistry together, too. It's not going to be just, yo, we're going to draft the next Victor Wembanyama, the next LeBron James, the next Michael Jordan, the next Kobe Bryant. That's not going to happen. You got to draft the players that you think are going to fit your system, like Steve is saying, and let the time develop and let them go out there and prove to you that they can win.
Well, no better way to segue into those New York Knicks than we just brought it up. And how about that, man? The New York Knicks are on a historic run right now, sweeping. That's right, sweeping the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's just go over a little bit of what New York has been doing right here. New York hasn't lost since April 23rd, which is over a month ago that they haven't lost. They've been on an 11-game winning streak. They've like legitimately have this been dominant, man. They're shattering records with a plus 226, or excuse me, 262 point differential over the 11 consecutive games. That is absolutely insane what they're doing right now. G Mike, what do you think about the Knicks right now? And are they the hottest team right now in the entire playoffs?
They are. They are the hottest team in the entire playoffs. They're clicking on all cylinders. Their offense has always been immaculate going into the second half of the season, going into the playoffs, and now you've seen it throughout the playoffs on this 11-game win streak. But their defense has been clicking as well for the last 11 games. They've learned how to play together as a cohesive unit. They're helping each other on the pick and rolls. They're stopping teams from being so aggressive with them, and then they're returning the favor to them, punching them right in the mouth. Like, dude, they're doing everything. The starting five is scoring 10 plus or more points. The bench is giving them what the bench could give them with Miles McBride, Jordan Clarkson at times, Jose Alvarado, great defender. He's a guard defender as well. It would be dope to see him going up against Shea because we know the Brunts is not giving you anything on the defensive end. But when it comes to the offensive side, the man is clutch. The man will put the team on his back. Pause. He will drop 40 if he needs to. Like, bro, they are doing it big. Cat is grabbing a lot of rebounds and hustling. He's being a playmaker out there too when he really needs to be. OG Anunoby shooting threes, making them being the best two-way defender in my opinion right now in the playoffs. Next to Stephon Castle, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Josh Hart being the heart and soul of that team. He's showing people that, no matter what is happening, I'm going out there and I'm giving 110% effort each and every time. It sucks to say because it's always F the Knicks, but they truly, as an analyst and as a realist, they are the hottest team right now, and I don't think no one can stop them. But, we'll talk about the NBA final a little later because we got Game 7 tomorrow. But right now in the East, they were the clear-cut favorite to win in the beginning of the season. They did not let the New York Knicks fans down. New York is going crazy, bananas. You saw it after the game, after they won the Eastern Conference Finals, how they were jumping up on top of cars, going up to the billboards, dancing in front of the billboards without their shirts, and going and saying they had some lady crossing up some guy with an imaginary ball. They are funny, man. But the Knicks, bro, they're definitely the hottest team right now.
We got some people checking in, and they maybe not agreeing with you on here, saying no way the Knicks is winning. Nope, not going to happen.
Well, I'm not saying they're winning. That's not what I said.
Knicks have the easiest run to the playoffs as well, so there's not a lot of Knick love going on in here. I just think what they've been doing is absolutely just been absolutely impressive what they've been able to do. Love or hate the Knicks, this has just been one magical ass run that they've been on in the 11 games, and. In all, I mean, think about it too. They were down by 22 in that game to Cleveland that first game, and everybody kind of thought I turned it off. I was like, I'm going to bed. This is over. No need to watch anymore. And you wake up in the morning like, what the hell just happened here? And they never looked back from that one there as well. And now I do agree they did have a relatively easy path going through here. I thought Cleveland was actually going to win that series. I thought Cleveland was playing extremely hard. They seemed like a cohesive unit, and then all of a sudden it just went away after that 22-point loss. And I mean, hell, Kenny Atkinson still hasn't even called a timeout, so I don't know what the hell's going on. He like even in that run, they never called any kind of timeout. So I really don't know what the logic was behind that, or what the mindset was, because your team was definitely not hot. It was the other team that was hot. Call a damn timeout. You had plenty of them, so. You can't use them whenever you're out. Maybe he's going to try to use them next season. I don't know. But yeah, I was pretty surprised. I thought Cleveland was at least going to win that one, obviously, when they were up big. I thought they was going to go to probably at least 6-7, but I honestly was thinking Cleveland was going to be able to win. Nothing against, Donovan Mitchell at all. I think Donovan Mitchell is a showing that he's a great player. I just think that the way they're constructed, that Cleveland's constructed, I don't think that is going forward. But the weird thing is that they plan on bringing everybody back. And the last I heard as well is that they plan on trying to give James Harden an extension, and like a lucrative one at that, which I don't agree with as well. They're already the most expensive team in the league. Why are you going to pay a guy that's averaging 5 to 6 turnovers a game? He looks like a shell of himself sometimes out there. I think that it's at this point in time, I think it's time for Harden to just go back to what he used to be in OKC, coming off the bench, giving you solid minutes, being a facilitator when your main guy isn't out there. But it worked until it didn't, and I think that was just clear. Regular season it worked, then you get playoff Harden, which, let's face it, has not been very good in any team he's played for.
All right, so I'll touch upon a few things. One, let me bring this up right here. Knicks had the easiest run to the finals. Gio, the easiest run to the finals was the Boston Celtics when they won against the Dallas Mavericks. That was the easiest run, in my opinion, to the finals. Maybe this is the second, a little close cut, but I think the Boston Celtics definitely took that. I don't remember who they played, but I remember saying that shit to the top of my damn voice, just saying it loud as hell. They had the easiest run to the finals. Donovan Mitchell. I think he plays too passive-aggressive, just like Bam Adebayo at times. And I know what I'm talking about because I watched Miami Heat a lot, and Bam loves to do that a lot. And Donovan Mitchell, there are times that you're supposed to go get a bucket for your team, And instead of driving to the rack and try to create contact and get a foul like Shea Alexander does, like Jalen Brunson does, you do a step back three fade away from like 35 feet.
I'll refrain from slandering James Harden. I'm sorry.
Why? But I'm going to bring the slander to James Harden too. You're a freaking orange cone out there. You definitely have another life in construction because you cannot cover anybody, especially when they need you to cover somebody. On the offensive end, we're nowhere to going to get from you. Yeah, you're old. You're going to run a pick and roll. You're going to get to the basket, do a little layup, or try to get a three-point shot for sure. In 2018, it would have been different. You would have done a three-point shot. You would have drawn a foul going into the basket. It would have been a good 45-point game from you whenever you needed to. Now you can't really do that, and you got Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. You're trying to run the pick and roll, and it's not playing as good because that's all you guys do. You guys run the pick and roll or run the ISO between you and Donovan Mitchell. Yo, it's my turn to shoot. No, it's your turn to shoot. No, it's my turn to shoot. No, it's your turn to shoot. Okay, it's your turn to shoot. That's how it looks like on the offense.
Yeah.
Jared Allen, it looks like you don't want to play. It looks like you're going out there and just like giving like 80%, 70%, like 85% at most. It doesn't look like you want to play any type of defense. There was a game, I think he only had 3 rebounds. How are you the starting center and you only got 3 rebounds? Now, I'll be devil's advocate on this. Yes, Karl-Anthony Towns stays on the 3-point line, and you got to cover that because he's a good 3-point shooter, probably one of the best center 3-point shooters for sure. But if the ball goes up, turn around and hustle for that ball if you're trying to get to the NBA Finals. But it looked like you didn't. And then the last thing I want to touch up on, no leadership on that team. They were down. They were up 20 points. 8 minutes left to go in game 1.
22, I believe it was.
22. 8 minutes left, fourth quarter. You see Jalen Brunson on the sideline screaming and telling everybody to wake the hell up, man. We're going to go out there, punch them in the mouth, and we're going to take this game away from them. And then you saw the sideline for Cleveland Cavaliers like this. Nothing. No emotion being thrown, no words being said, nobody stepping up and calling a timeout. Worst coaching adjustment by far in history, in my opinion. And they need leadership, though. And my bad. This is the last thing I want to touch upon. My conspiracy side is that they did that all on purpose so they could tank for LeBron James.
Tank for LeBron James? They're already drafted. They don't need to tank for him.
No, it's not to be drafted. It's just sign him as a free agent, right? Because the team on paper, the way they're constructed too, you can't blow that team up. Because if you're trying to get to the same point that you got to, or even further, the NBA Finals, you blow the team up, that's not going to happen. The way that you get there is by bringing in LeBron James because he has leadership. He knows how to win games. He's going to be vocal. He's going to get on your ass, pause, and he's going to go out there and make sure that you're throwing every single punch, all the stamina and energy that you got in your body to go out there and play and try to win. They didn't have anybody to do that. So in my conspiracy side thought, they did it to bring in LeBron James. And for the people that think, oh, wouldn't it be better if they actually win? No, because I think at this point in LeBron's mind and career, maybe before he would, but now I don't think his pride would let him go to a winning team.
Well, they also to add to your conspiracy of that one, because you've been saying he's going to go back to Cleveland for a little while. He I guess posted something about a memory of Cleveland, and I think in like 2016 or something like that. So that got the people, wheels spinning and everything in that one as well.
On Twitter like this.
Yeah, exactly. Just toying with everybody. But I mean, yeah, it's going to be really hard for Cleveland to reconstruct it. They have the second most expensive team in the NBA. I thought they were number 1, but I guess they're number 2, right behind Golden State. So they're extremely expensive, their roster. So it's going to be hard to kind of reconstruct it. But what do you think that they need to do? Because they have enough to make some moves. I don't think that they are going to be able to continue the way this path, or else they're going to end up in the same spot again. Do you think it's getting rid of one of the big guys? Do you think it's bringing in another guard, or what do you think they need?
LeBron James. That's what they need. They need LeBron James, bro. And they need Sam Merrill is a good shooter. I think a little bit more experience in practice. He's going to be even better shooter. Good. I think Max Strus was playing great defense on the Stars in the Eastern Conference that they faced. I think he's a good guy to start with. Obviously, if you bring in LeBron, he's not going to start. But he could come off the bench, a good 6-man, maybe not to give you as much points as you want, but definitely to be the second unit defender. I think that would be awesome as well. And maybe bring in another role player, another 3-point shooter, just sit in the corner and shoot them threes. Like, I don't think
I'm surprised they didn't play Strus more. I'm surprised they didn't play Strus more just because of his defense. And he was a streaky shooter in there as well, but his defense was on point. He was locking him down pretty well, but they weren't playing him very much in the times they needed him. I was kind of surprised in that one as well.
Because what Kenny Atkins said, he said, "Oh, we traded away a few picks and a few players and paying this guy, James Harden, a lot of money. We can't be subbing him out in top situations." Well, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Because that's what you need to do. If you want to win, you got to make adjustments, dog. That's why I never understand why people slander Coach Spoelstra. Because he loves to make adjustments. Like, yeah, they say, oh, he runs so many different lineups. Like, we can never get some chemistry going and this and that. He's like, you got to fix and tune it, dog. If it's not working, you got to fix it. If it's working, obviously you don't touch it. But it wasn't working. New York came and scored like 28-3 in those 8 minutes. It's like, bro, like, first of all, you got to call a timeout. Second, I'm subbing out James Harden quicker than quick. Like, come on, bro.
I feel like everybody at home was call the timeout.
That is.
What I was picturing everybody doing. Like, what are you doing? And I don't think he's a bad coach. So I don't want to I think he's a good coach. But like, what were you thinking?
100%. I was there like this, watching the game like this. My control. Yo, timeout. Timeout.
Let me do it for you. Yeah. So I guess we can move from Cleveland. We got to go back and give the flowers back to the Knicks in this one because they did end up winning the series in a sweep. What do you think is? Well, I guess we can jump into that one after we get in. So we'll go ahead and jump into the next series. But before we do that, real quick, we got to give a selfless plug real quick, and we have our store that we've been promoting and trying to get people out there for. So Views from the Stands, it's our own merch store, vftsstore.com. Some great products out there. Please take a look at it. I guarantee you'll like what you see on there. So please take a look at that. So we're going to continue on from there and head over to... I
got to make my section on that too. But real quick...
Yeah, exactly. Customize your own stuff, and it's a lot of nice stuff. Let's go ahead and move on.
Before we move on, I want to give a shout out to Varsity Sports. Varsity Sports has been hanging out with us and providing a lot of service for us and continue to working with us. You can watch them. They have their own app on iPhone, Android, and even on Roku. Varsity Sports Nation. They show a lot of high school sports, collegiate sports, and now they're getting into pro talk shows where they'll have sports talk shows where they talk about pro sports. They won't show live sports, pro sports, but they will show live high school, some collegiate schools. Very
getting into some different leagues as well.
Yeah, facts. A lot of different sports as well. It's not just basketball, football, baseball. They got volleyball, they got lacrosse, they got a lot of stuff on there. So if you guys are into sports and like to check out the Central Florida, South Florida, high school, collegiate, and some schools, go check them out. Varsity Sports Nation.
Absolutely. Thanks for doing that too, because I did forget about shouting them out as well. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the other series, man, and this has been one for the ages, man. We got the San Antonio Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Spurs forcing a Game 7. That's going to be tomorrow night. But I believe 8:30. You know what channel that one's going to be on? Because they've been bouncing back and forth. You know when that one's going to be on?
It's either NBC or ABC.
I think that one's on Peacock, NBC.
Yeah, it's either NBC or ABC for sure.
Yeah, anyways, having said all that, this series has been one for the ages, man. This one's been an awesome one. G-Mike, were you expecting a Game 7, or were you thinking this was going to be over faster?
I was expecting a Game 7. Just to, we talk about Game 6. dude, the way that the Spurs came out in the beginning of the game, they were not playing around. They wanted to make sure that the Thunder felt their grasp and freaking just elbowed them right in the throat, like letting them know, yo, we're coming out here, we're going to win this game, and we're going to force a game 7. Wemby, great hustle plays, scoring like 4 3-pointers, and I think in the first quarter, in the first half himself, he definitely got up there. He got 28 points, and he had like 10 rebounds, so he dropped a double-double. Stephon Castle showing that he's really elevating as a playmaker, and he's showing people on why he should be the primary ball handler. De'Aaron Fox is a good ball handler as well, but he's out there playing on 2 messed up ankles. He's still showing love for his team and trying to go out there and play. But Stephon Castle, he was dropping like averaging like 11 turnovers in the first 3 games, and last night he had 9 assists with only 1 turnover. So that's how you know that he's improving. Dylan Harper hasn't had a good game this series. Comes off the bench last night, scoring 18 points, looking like a proven vet that's been playing 3, 4, 5 years, and he's only a rookie. Champagne, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but it should be Champagne. It should be Champagne because he go crazy. He'd be dropping mad numbers, especially last game 5. He had like 15 points in the first quarter or something like that. But last game he only dropped 10, but he's helping them, get the secure win. But the number one thing that I wanted to talk about was the defensive pressure that they put on each and every OKC player, man. Even Shea only had 15 points. Chet had 11 points. Alex Caruso, he's been going off this series. Last night, I think he only had 8 points. That defensive pressure was really getting to them, and it's hard to go up in the rack when you have a 7'5" guy that can block any shots. So when they're staying out in the perimeter, you expect the guards and the forwards to play very defensively tight, right up in their face, not giving them any room to breathe, and that's what they were doing last night. Shout out to them. They played a really good game to force a game 7, which is going to be phenomenal. And I want to say that this series has lived up to the damn hype, bro. I love it.
I'll give a shout out to Dan. Thanks for checking in as well. And he was saying it would have been over in 5. The Spurs didn't have Ronaldo out there playing against the refs. So I totally agree with you. And that was the point I was going to be kind of making as well, is that I think the biggest thing that happened in this series is that not in the series, in that game, is the fouls. The Spurs were able to guard SGA and not foul. SGA only had 3 for 3 from the foul line. So that is completely going to take him out of the game. And I think he's a great player, and we can get into the whole foul thing if it's good for the game or not. I think it's just a product of what's actually you're allowed to do now. But having said that, if they're able to play him hard and not foul him, that does take a huge chunk out of the game. And I think San Antonio went out there, and I think they kind of realized something as well, that they can punk them. OKC comes off to me a little bit soft, that they're a lot more like a finesse game, finesse team. If you know what I'm saying, like I don't know. I was with you. I got you.
It's cool, Dan.
I got you. But no, I think kind of more finesse. And they have like a system, and if you take them out of that, I think it's kind of hard for them to stick with it. And I think San Antonio realized that, so that's why they started getting a lot more aggressive. They kind of set the message in Game 5. With Wemby whispering in their ears about something, and just all of a sudden people are starting to get knocked around. That was a little bit interesting. That was a little interesting there. And all of a sudden there's a couple hard fouls, and then the next game they kind of come out with this different mentality of like, hey, we're not going to take any of their crap, and if they're going to get fouled, they're going to get fouled hard. We're not going to, almost like Detroit Pistons used to do back in the day with Jordan. If you're going to get fouled, you're going to get fouled hard.
He literally told them that. I saw an audio clip that usually Twitter has it lying around. And I saw it this morning. He literally said hard foul. Yeah.
Go out there, go up. As well, if anybody that's watching live or anything, we do have a poll going up here right now. You can comment in the chat over here. If you think Spurs are going to win, it's a 1. And if you think San Antonio is going to win, it's going to be OKC, is going to be 2. So yeah, I think that it's going to be kind of good series. Like you're saying too, this is, and I totally agree as well. This is pretty much the NBA Finals. So it's good as it's going to be. Man, OKC is getting a lot of love on this poll right now. Everybody's going for OKC in this one, interesting enough. I think San Antonio is going to be able to do it. Now, the only reason I think it's going to be interesting because they are going back to Oklahoma City. In Oklahoma City, it seems like the fouls have been a little bit different, called a little bit different than it has been in San Antonio. So OKC will get an advantage of that, and it is at home. They are the defending champs. G-Mike, what's your thoughts on this one, brother?
I got OKC, and I agree with Dan. They have to hit threes to win for sure. That's what I'm saying. Like when they drive up in the paint, you got Wemby there trying to block shots, so it's going to be hard for them to get those layups, those dunks, or even free throws because he might be timing them very good, and he doesn't actually hit a guy while he goes down there. But I got OKC. I think their role players play very good at home. The Spurs are gonna show why they're kind of inexperienced. You saw it in Game 5 with like 4 minutes left to play in the second quarter, where the OKC Thunder were in the bonus and they kept falling shade. He had like 8 free throws in those four minutes. It's tough when he's getting to the free throw line and you're not playing disciplined defense. He's gonna give him those free points.
Yeah.
I think the Spurs, if they don't come out hot like they have been in every single game this series, it's going to be a problem. They need to come off hot because then OKC is going to have to fight and get back into the game, which I believe they will. I think it's going to be a nail biter right to the end. I don't think each team scores over 100 points. So if you want to put a button on that, but if OKC comes out guns blazing and they go up in the first quarter by 15 points or something like that, they're running away with the game and it's going to be over before it's even started.
So I'm going to go a little bit different in this one. I think that Wemby is in a different mindset right now, and I think that he wants this really bad. And I think because the narrative of like he is the face right now, and I think that he was already kind of annoyed that SGA got that MVP right in front of him as well. And let's face it, that man holds on to a grudge. He's still fighting with Chet Holmgren over someone they were like 16 or 17 years old. So I think he's going to go in there with that. And let me ask you this one though. I think that Wemby is so much more important to the Spurs than it is the SGA to the Thunder. I think if there's so many other guys in the Thunder because they're deeper that if SGA is off, I think that they have a couple other guys. Who do you think on San Antonio is the guy that is it Castleton? Is it Harper? Like who is the guy that has to have another game to help Wemby out in this one? Do you think?
I think it's a few guys. I think it has to be Castle. I think if De'Aaron Fox is able to put up 15 points, I think that's going to help him win. Dylan Harper, the way he played last game, is going to help him win as well. I just don't know if he could do it 2 games in a row, and especially on the road. He's been having good home games, but on the road it's been kind of wishy-washy. They need their 3-point shooting, and they need to play good when Wemby is on the bench because when Wemby's on the bench, OKC does whatever the hell they want, bro. It's like
it's a different.
It's in the stats. It's in the stats. Look it up. Yeah, it's bad, bro. It's bad. So it's either Wemby plays the whole game and he doesn't rest and gets to the NBA Finals, which I wouldn't be surprised with the mentality that he has. He probably wants to play every single minute, but the injury liability goes up. So we'll see.
Yeah, and I think game 1 for the finals is Wednesday as well. So I mean, theoretically, he does have a couple days rest that they can get in there if he does want to play the whole game, which I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't.
Let me ask you something. This is towards Wemby, but kind of offset from the game. Whatever. He did not get suspended for the elbow to the throat on the Minnesota Timberwolves series, right? Whatever, we got past that. But then he was not also fined when he missed media after Game 5, and a lot of people are on the fence about it or going towards the fact of why is he not getting fined? If it was me, I would have got fined. I would have got $50K. And then other people are like, yo, I get it. I mean, he's gonna be the face of the league. You're not him, Like, how do you feel about it?
Well, so apparently that has came up quite a few times, and the league, I guess, does allow a warning in between the finding of if you're skipping media. He normally doesn't skip the media, so I don't know if this was like his only warning, if you will. I did find it to be a little bit childish and a little bit unlike his character for all the poise that he always has, and he had one bad game and he just didn't go out there and talk to them. I was kind of shocked because it's just not in his character, it seems like. As far as finding, I get it why they probably didn't. Now the elbow, that one I could maybe see getting suspended for. That one was pretty blatant. The finding for the skipping the media thing, I could get behind the not finding him for that. I can get behind that. Here's the other thing as well, as I was thinking about that the other day, was that, like, what do you want some of these guys to do? So if he goes out there and has, like, this complete, like, language filled thing about how he's pissed off and all these different stuff, then that's bad for the image. It's bad for the league. Would you rather some guy that, hey, you know what? I'm not going to go out there because I'm not in the right mindset to go out there and go say something. Would you rather have him say something, nothing at all, or go out there and make a fool of themselves and the league? It's tough. And some of the stupid questions that they get asked, I can imagine how annoyed these guys have to be. Granted, it is part of being a professional athlete. That's the role you're in. But honestly, even if he did get fined, I'm sure Wimby would be like, here's a check for $10,000. I ain't doing this stupid stuff, So I don't think that one was as bad as the elbow. The elbow, I think that one should have been a lot more. There should have been something that happened with that one.
Yeah, that elbow one, I think, he should have been suspended because it looked very intentional. It could have been very damning to Naz Reid and his throat. Maybe he could have stopped talking. Maybe it would have been such a blatant injury that something would have happened, like, very drastically, because it was a very dangerous move that he did, and a very dangerous injury for sure. I think he should have got suspended one game. But who am I to say, right? With the fine, the human side of me, not the human side of me, because I'm all human, but the human aspect of it, of, like, he had a bad game. He was probably angry. He probably didn't want to talk to anybody. He probably didn't want to look at anybody. He probably wanted to go straight home and relax and get into his mental fortitude and just unwind. I understand that, because sometimes that happens to me. I need to just step away from everybody. Like, get out, leave me alone. I need to be chill, vibing, whatever.
Just barely half.
I mean, I understand that, right? But the business side of it, like, you signed the contract. You gotta show up for the media day. If not, you're gonna get fined. He didn't get fined because there's a warning. I don't know if there's any warnings that they gave to other players. I've never seen that. I've never even heard of a warning when it comes to missing the media, in my opinion. Now, I understand why they just gave him a warning, and I understand why they didn't suspend him for the elbow, because he's gonna be the face of the league. Like, I'm sorry. For the random role player on the freaking Miami Heat or the freaking Charlotte Hornets, you get fined because you missed media day, or you elbow a dude in the throat, pause, and you get suspended for a game or two, whatever. You're not Victor Wembanyama. You're not a generational talent. Sorry, life's unfair. People go through that all the time. Some people get promotions, other people get demotions. Some people are able to go and have dinner with the president. Some people can't even pay to go have dinner at Olive Garden. That's life. It's unfair. Sorry.
One thing I want to talk about on OKC, though, is I want to give a shout out to freaking Alex Caruso, though. I like that guy a lot, man. That guy is like an awesome. Everybody should have like an Alex Caruso on their team, man. I love the way that guy plays. He does exactly what they need. They need defense. They need shooting. They need whatever. He's like the perfect role player. He could be a starter if he needed to. Like, I love Alex Caruso's game, and it's just crazy to me. Like, how many teams did he bounce around to? He started out with the Lakers, correct? Like, is that where he got drafted or started out? Because he's bounced around a couple times.
He started off with the Thunder in the summer league, and then he got moved. He went to the Lakers, and then he went to the Bulls. I think it was the Bulls.
I think so. Yeah. He's moved around a couple. It's crazy to me, like that guy would get moved around like that. Like, I just like his game, man. I know he isn't the star attraction or anything like that, but I just like
he's a hustle player. That guy
exactly
quit. Like, he plays great defense. He's a good shooter. I give him props too. But
what do you think about Alex Caruso trying to guard Wemby, though? Like, what are we doing here, man? Like, I don't know.
Dude, you got to try something out.
Yeah,
I mean, right. I feel like the defense that Hartenstein's doing on Wemby, it's good enough. I don't think you're ever going to stop Wemby. I think you could slow him down, but I don't think you're going to stop him. But I think it's good enough. I think anytime Wemby's out there, put Hardenstein out there. If you put Chet on Wemby, that's barbecue chicken, Dougie.
All right, so we're gonna jump off
Real quick.
Good.
I want to give a shout out to the ref that was wearing SGAs while reffing the damn game.
Oh, I didn't see that. I mean, that is
why is that happening? Why is the NBA let that happen? That just raises so many damn red flags, bro.
Yeah.
Are you calling calls for OKC Thunder because you're a fan of SGA? Are you letting them win because you're a fan of SGA? Find out in the next episode.
That was about like the referee that high-fived or like jumped up and down and during the national championship or the game before the national championship, that kid hit that big shot for UConn, and the ref was like excited as hell. You know?
Yeah,
like,
that's right. Yeah,
you can't do that.
Oh man, come on, what are we doing, bro?
You just can't do that one. But all right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump off of the series. Before we do that, I want to go ahead and get our bold prediction real quick, just so we can get this out the way real quick. I'm going San Antonio. You're going
OKC.
OKC. I can definitely see that. It seems like most people are going OKC. I'm going to sit on my lonely island over here, I guess, and go with the Spurs. But all right, so we haven't done one in a little while, so we're going to go ahead and jump into the down bad debate of the night.
It's time for the down bad debate.
All right, this one's going to be a lot of fun.
DC's here?
I'm really looking forward to this one. So the topic for tonight on here, and if you're new to the show, basically we post something on here. We search the internet for some interesting topics, and we debate them, what we think is all going on. More than welcome to join us in the debate. But having said that, so this one right here, the graphic is you get this duo for 10 years. Who you choosing? The combination is Jokic and Stockton, MJ and Kobe, Larry Bird and Luka Doncic, Bill Russell, LeBron James. All right, so this one is definitely interesting, the way it's kind of put up in here. And I feel like the consensus, most people are going to right off the bat go MJ Kobe, just because of name value in here. I'm not actually going to go that one, but G-Mike, I'm going to have you go first. Which duo are you going to take?
I won't go MJ and Kobe because they're two alpha males that are very ball dominant and they have the same play style. And I think that they would butt heads, especially Kobe on the side of being jealous because he did it to Shaq. It's like he was the man of the team. MJ would be the man of the team, and MJ would be Batman, and Kobe would be Robin. I think they would butt heads, and I don't think it would be good for the team. Jokic and Stockton, I think that Stockton is a great passer, one of the greatest for sure. I think he's still assist leader, if I'm not mistaken. But he needs more of a scoring aspect for them to be the next duo for the 10 years. Jokic, amazing talent. He's gonna probably go down as the top 5 big men, probably even top 10, top 15 player in NBA history. Great assist. He's a great back to the basket player as well. He can get your 3-point shot. He can get a lot of rebounds. I'm just not gonna go on that route. Luka and Larry Bird. Luka's very ball dominant as well. So Larry Bird, yeah, he likes to sit in the corner and shoot the 3. He could drive to the basket. He could do everything. He's like a 3-level scorer for sure. But I feel like them getting slowed down there because Luka's gonna have the ball so much on his hands, and the fact that he can't play defense or crap, I'm not gonna really want it. So I'm gonna go with Bron and Bill Russell because Bron likes to facilitate. Depending on what year we're talking about, he's got a better shot than he was back in the day. If we're talking about early Bron, very athletic, get to the basket, he could give it to Bill Russell, let him do his thing where he could play a lot of defense, go for hustle plays like offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, try to get steals and blocks. And Bill Russell, I mean, back to the basket player. He could give you a lot of layups, give you some dunks. He's not going to give you nothing on the 3-point shot or the mid-range shot for sure, but you got to hope that Bron could give you that 3, and he could give you some mid-range or back to the basket fadeaways.
Man, that really makes me mad. I really thought I had this one in the bag. I'm going LeBron and Bill Russell as well. I for sure thought you were going to go somewhere in a different direction with this one, and you pretty much said exactly what I was thinking as well. I think that their mindsets would have worked together as well. I feel like they were both all about winning. They would be able to sacrifice if they need to. Braun could run the PowerPoint if he needed to. I think that would be a nasty duo. A lot of people don't realize how great Bill Russell was until you go back. I think his talent would have still been able to make it damn near any league. Now, he would have been as dominant because of just size, but I think that if you put him in this league, bulk him up a little bit. But yeah, I think that he would have been just as damn good. I think that guy, you can't deny the talent in that one. So I agree, and I really thought we were going to have different ones in this one, but yeah, I'm going to go with LeBron and Bill Russell in this one too. I think the other ones are interesting, and I totally agree with you about Kobe and Jordan. I feel like most people looking at it off the rip is going to go, oh, LeBron and Jordan and Kobe because of just two of the greatest players of all time, But yeah. I completely agree. They're almost damn near the exact same guy. I believe they're the exact same height, about the same weight. They play the same style of game. They're both ball dominant guys that's going to have to take over a game. So I feel like Jordan could maybe pass it off to him, but you're not going to take the ball out of Jordan's hands. And Jordan's damn sure not going to take a backseat to anybody. So I think that one wouldn't necessarily work out as much. I do like the Stockton and Jokic, just for the simple fact of you have two guys that completely can pass the ball. Jokic can score. Stockton did have a nice offensive game. I think a lot of people kind of sleep on his offensive game just because of all the passing he was able to do. But Stockton still had a nice offensive game. So that's a good one. And I do like the Bird and Luka, but I don't feel like that it would really be – I like Bird a lot. And I love Luka, but I don't know that the two of them together would be able to work out as much. They both can do a lot of the same things, but I just don't feel like that one would work as well. So, yeah, I was really shocked. I thought that we were both going to disagree, but it's going to be LeBron James going to the Boston Celtics, and it is going to be, for me, Bill Russell, LeBron James. And we wanted to give a shout-out real quick for our boy that's working right now. BC said it was blasphemy to put Larry Bird in a Los Angeles Lakers jersey. So that's why he refuses to go with that one. BC wasn't able to pick tonight because he was had a couple things he was working on, but he was making sure the record shows that BC said it's blasphemy for Larry Bird to be in a Los Angeles Lakers jersey. All right, well, that obviously is a lot of fun. We can't wait to hear you guys' response and comments and agree or disagree on this one. But that is going to wrap it up for us tonight, man. We had a great show. We have a huge game tomorrow night. There's a UFC on tomorrow. I believe it's a 7 a.m. start guard, so you can wake up bright and early. We got basketball on. There's a whole bunch of good stuff going on all weekend for sports. So keep us posted. Keep us in your thoughts. Whether any comments, any kind of ideas you want out there or want to debate for anything, shoot us a DM. Leave comments on our page, and we'll try to get back as much as possible. Obviously, you can see we interact with the crowd and interact with the fans. So if you want to come on the show, we got links, and you can actually come live with us. Or if you feel more comfortable just commenting on the chat, by all means, comment in the chat. Mr. G, Mike, you got anything for the people before we take off?
Yeah, guys, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share the show with your family, friends, and any random people that you see at any sporting events. MLB, baseball games going on right now. Obviously, basketball is about to be concluded. Got NFL season coming around. WNBA, if you're into that, the big three and showing up at some people's doorsteps as well. Just let them know that Views from the Stands is the sports podcast show that you love to listen to. And let them know where to find us. It could be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all podcast platforms, YouTube. We got TikTok. We're on Twitter. Let them know, man. We appreciate you guys' support. And Gio, if you're still watching, come on the show. Stop being a puss.
Well, we got just one more thing before we take off as well, man. Just like we were saying before, Views from the Stands, our own merch store. Show some love to your favorite show out there, please. VFTSstore.com. We truly appreciate everything that you guys have been giving us, all the support that you guys have been giving us, and it's been going up a lot. So we're right on the brink of making that big break there. So it's all from you guys. We really appreciate that. Have a safe, fun weekend, and we'll be back on Tuesday. We hope that you guys have a great weekend. We out of here. Peace.